Hi guys, so this is my last scrunchie tutorial. If you haven't seen the others, do check them out. They will be linked at the end of this through a playlist. But this one has little chain loops, so it gives this lovely little curly loop set feel to it, which I think I quite like. These ones are older ones, so they're looking a little rough away, but I'll show you how to make them and your newer ones will look much neater. These have been well used. So, as usual, all we need is a headband. Sorry. Now you're going to want to go with a thick band, as I explained in the other videos. A thicker one will stand up to longer use. As you see, these ones I made with thinner bands. And you see, they're already coming out of shape, they're a little limp. And I've actually had several of these snap on me with the other designs because I couldn't take the strain. So, definitely switch to thicker bands, it's much better. See, but I test everything before I teach them to see if they work. So with the thicker band, again, I'm using a 4mm hook, and I'm using the same yarn as the rest of my videos, which is just a reclaimed DK weight yarn, but any yarn will do. DK weight I find is nicer because it works out reasonably quick, but it's not too chunky. And these were done with a 3-ply yarn, I think it was, and as you see, you need a lot to get it going. So these DK weight's good for beginners because you don't have to do quite so many to get the look you're after. So I'm going to just start with a slip knot as usual. So if you haven't noticed, the way I do it is I hold the working yarn that side, the tail yarn that side, I hold down, then I twist it so the tail yarn is above the working yarn, and then I grab the working yarn and pull through that loop, and there's your slip knot. There we go. So all we're going to do is single crochets US, double crochet UK terms, and chain, which is the same lever. So as we've got a slip knot, we're just going to pop this around. Try that again. Pop the hook through the loop, yarn over, pull back through the loop, yarn over, and pull through both loops. So that's a single crochet around the loop. It's similar to a magic circle where you're going around the loop that you're creating. So now we've got that attached on with a single crochet, which is UK double crochet. We're just going to chain. Thinner yarns obviously need longer chains. This is about 15 chains here, but with the DK weight we should be able to get away with about 10 chains. Again, it depends on your tension to exactly how many, but you should be able to eyeball roughly how much you want the loop to be. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. And what you want to do is if you just fold over quickly to the end, you can see how big your loop's going to be. Now I quite like that size loop, so that's what I'm going to stick with, 10. But if you want a longer loop, then just chain more. If you want a slightly shorter loop, chain a few less. So now we're just going to single crochet around the hairpin again. So that's go through the loop with your hook, yarn over, come back through, yarn over and go through both loops on your hook. There you go, a single crochet or a double crochet, UK terms, and just scrunch it up so it's next to the next one, and there's your first chain. And we're going to do this all the way around. So we're just going to chain 10, then single crochet US, double crochet UK, scoot it up so it meets until we filled that whole thing up. So really simple. If you scoot up after each one, you're less likely to have trouble scooting them up. If you wait until you've got a bunch of them and try to scoot them up, they could cross over and they don't just lay it quite as neatly. Now you don't want them too tight together because you don't want to strain the band. You want to keep the band nice and loose and relaxed. So you can see there is still a gap between them for movement, so you're not overstraining, but it's close enough that the inside parts are just touching. See that? So it's just that. I'm feeding this tail end around, and then when there's enough there that once we get back to the other end, I'll be able to still weave that in, and that just makes it extra secure. You see how that's now building up quite nicely around, and it's giving that funky little loop look, but there is still black showing. It is visible on both sides because it's not being compressed. So I'm just going to finish around here off camera, and then I'll come back and show you how I decide how full it is and how I join it together to finish it off. See you in a minute. Okay, so I've now gone all the way around, and I've just done my chain 10 for the next one, which is going to be my last one, because as you can see it's now reasonably full. There's no strain on it, but I don't want to start bunching them up and getting too much strain. You could possibly get away with putting a few more in, but I think that's probably enough. So what we're going to do, instead of just single crocheting around the man, for the last one we're going to find your first single crochet here, and you're going to slip stitch into it. So we're just going to go into the stitch. Might be a little tight if you're like me and you put it on there. It's pretty snug. Yarn over, pull through and pull straight through the other loop. So you've gone straight through, and that's it. And then so you'll yarn over, pull through, and then break your yarn and pull that through. I'm sorry if you can hear my phone ringing, I'll try to edit that out. And there we go. That is now one loopy scrunchie done. Okay? You see, as it stretches out, it will go back into that shape. You just have to make sure you give it a stretch before you weave in your tail end, because otherwise you'll weave in your tail end so it's too tight and you won't be able to stretch it. Can you see the tail end loosening through there? You want to make sure that's reasonably loose so that when you weave it in to your stitch you can still use the band. If you do it tight, see it's coming out here, I will pull it from here and then weave in from that point because that's where it's coming out loose. But that's how it works. So really simple. I said you could put some more on, but for this style I think just these few loops, because once you've popped that on your hair, look, that's quite a good amount of loops. So I hope that's helpful, and they look great in all different colours. So I hope you enjoy making them. I'll see you all later. Take care. Bye.